Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and I am also a doctoral student of psychology. Today, we're going to go over some of the signs that an avoidant wants you to reach out. Now, before we jump right in, I do want to mention this doesn't mean I'm telling you to reach out to them. A lot of people would prefer that if their partner or their ex, whoever it is, wants them to reach out, that that person would just reach out instead of putting the responsibility on you, right? That sometimes doesn't happen. Some avoidants take a long time to want to reach out, but there's a part of them subconsciously that wants you to reach out. A lot of you guys requested this video, and so that's why I'm making it. It's on a request basis. But I also do think that it's more common with avoidants who are either younger, or when I mean younger, I don't mean, like, I'm not specifically saying an age necessarily. I'm saying like younger in their healing journey. So they could be 50 and they're still doing this, but I mean like they have much less self-awareness, right? That's what I actually probably should have said, where they're not as deep in their healing journey. So most of their very clearly unhealed avoidants tend to do this, whereas there are some avoidants who are a little bit more self-aware. It doesn't mean they're solved completely. They're healed. I shouldn't have said solved, but healed. Those folks probably won't be doing this. They will probably take their space and their time, but they'll reach out when they're ready. So you have to be able to classify if you think your partner would be more like this, or they would just need space and then reach out when they want. Because there are two different types of how avoidants work, right? One is that they're actually kind of waiting for you to reach out. Like I said, more less further along in their healing journey. And those who are a little bit more further along on their healing journey, but still maybe you guys broke up or they're distant for, maybe you guys had a fight. Maybe it's not even a breakup. You guys had a fight and they need space for like a day. They're probably not going to want you to reach out, right? They're going to reach out. Or maybe you guys broke up because they were having stress at work. And so that's still a reason avoidants break up, but it's not necessarily, they're still in their healing journey. While they might respond if you reach out, they also can reach out if they want to. But some avoidants who are less healed, they're going to do this. And so we're going to talk about that today, okay? And the very first one is very common, but it can be a little bit, I think a lot of people think it's a little bit annoying or difficult to understand, but it's the reality. They're watching your story or your post on social media. And they may even look back at old posts and they may be the first viewers. They don't necessarily interact with you directly, but they never miss anything. So you're seeing that they're watching. You're seeing that they're keeping tabs on you, to be honest. And that is true. This is something that avoidants do when they want you to reach out. It's true. They kind of want to remind you, to be honest, that they're still there. They hope that you'll notice and that maybe you miss them too because they miss you, but maybe they're too afraid of what that's going to take, or they might think you're mad at them. And so they don't want to be the one to reach out because maybe you'll get mad at them for it. And so they're hoping that you'll reach out, which is evident that you're not mad at them and they can reconnect. The next one is they like your comments or your posts. And they could even go like all the way back to older posts and like it. They may even comment. Some of them actually do this, right? They might comment something that's like a specific like inside joke for you, or like an emoji that you're familiar with, or things that you used to talk about. They might even interact and say like you look good or something kind of not as deep as that. And they're trying to see if you have an emotional response, like if you still like them, like if you still want to take them back, because maybe they're the one that messed up in that relationship and maybe you left them or they left you, whatever it is, but they feel guilty. And so they just want to check, like, are you still like there? If they do want to come back, if you guys do reconnect, like, will you give them a chance? Right? That's the main reason why they do this, actually. And it's actually one of the main reasons they don't reach out, because they don't want to disturb you or make you mad or hurt you. And so they want to see if you want to come back. It's almost like they're trying to prompt you, but they don't want to be the one to do it, because then you might, I don't know, get mad at them and not like them or reject them. And they're afraid of that because they love you. A lot of them love you, which is why they do this. Or they like you and they're going to love you, whatever that may be, okay? The next one is really common. I would say this is one of the most common ones that I see. So this could even be somebody who's kind of on their healing journey. Because remember, a lot of the patients I see, they're a little bit more on their healing journey because they're in therapy, right? And so this one can happen even if they're in therapy. Still, it's usually the folks that are like slow on their healing journey or they just started. But they post something like, this one is so, they post something very specific to their ex. And the truth of the matter is some avoidants are like really, they're aware that they do this and they don't even realize that it's not necessarily healthy. Like they actually like admit stuff like this in therapy. This one particularly, a lot of patients have meant this, where they're saying, they say it in like a positive way too, but I don't think they realize what it feels like for their partner. But they may say something like, they post like a song lyric that they used to play in the car together or whatever. They might like post something about themselves or like a meme or something, or they might just make like a little post that says like, you don't realize how much you love somebody until they're gone, right? Like these are things that I see a lot, okay? And usually I prompt them to reach out, but if I don't prompt them, which a lot of the avoidance you guys are dealing with might not be in therapy, so a therapist is not prompting them, but they're waiting for you to reach out basically, which is why I prompt them the other way so they can face their fears. But they do clearly know they had sent this for you. And a lot of times I say it's because I love this person, but I don't want to disturb them. I at least want them to know I'm thinking about them, right? They might post something like, some people never leave your heart, or I remember that feeling, or do you still think about me? Like something could be even as direct as that. And they're trying to do it where they don't disturb you or reopen wounds, but they still want to say, hey, by the way, I'm here. I still love you. That's their main goal typically, right? I'm not saying that's an excuse, but that's why they do it. The next one is they show up in certain spaces where you're at. This is not as common, and this is much more common with fearful avoidance, but it does happen where they connect more with your friends. They might, let's say you guys had the same friend group and then they distance themselves maybe while you were in the relationship or at some point. But now that you guys are exes, they might start coming back into this to try and see you, hang out with you. They might comment about you to mutual friends. They might get close enough to you to be seen and connect. I had one avoidant, which this one's going to sound weird, but I hear avoidants say stuff like this, okay? I had some avoidants actually admit like I would frequent the grocery store that she went to just because it helps me to remember her. So it's not like they're purposely like trying to bump into you necessarily, but they might frequent those things subconsciously because they remember you that way. So it's not like in a creepy way, hopefully not, right? But it's usually because they're more drawn to your memory. And so they're just more attached to those things. So you'll actually start seeing them show up in those areas. And it is because somewhere inside they're like, I wish I could be with you, but I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to disturb you. I don't want you mad, but this is the closest I can get unless you want to be with me. But other than that, I'll just enjoy your memory. That's usually what's happening, okay? Now, sometimes they actually reach out vaguely, which is the next one, okay? They reach out very indirect. They might say, how's it been? Or how are you? Or they might ask you something completely random, like, what was that restaurant we went to? Or where did we go that one day? Do you remember? They ask it like completely out of the blue. And this is something that's more common with dismissive avoidance because it can come across some people might even describe it as like very awkward. Like it's very like random. You would not even guess. Some people might even take it like, wow, this person doesn't care about me at all. After everything we've been through, they just asked me what restaurant we went to at this time. You might take it as like, oh, our relationship is dwindled down to like acquaintances. Like you don't know anything about me anymore. You don't care about me. But actually it's not like that at all. They're trying to like open a conversation to check if they can talk to you or if it's going to disturb your peace or if you're going to be upset or if they're allowed to be part of you. They just are trying to reconnect without putting too much pressure on you, okay? The next one is they might post things that are nostalgic, or they may bring up those memories to people. So they're in that type of nostalgia where they're thinking about things that actually had to do with you guys very directly, and they are talking about it. So with their friends, they might say, I remember, that beach trip I went to with my ex. It was probably the best trip I ever had, right? Or they might even send you a message saying, this reminds me of you. and they send a picture. It creates emotions for them, but it's not because they're trying to create emotions for you. It's that they're trying to say, if you ever want to come back, I know I messed up, but I still very much think about you, right? That's very common. And the next one is that people have told you in your life that they are asking about you. They're talking about you. They have brought up that they want you to talk to them. Like sometimes that's like quite literally where they ask a friend, hey, like, I hope that she's okay. If she's ever interested, I still want to get back with her. Or, I wonder what happened to him after we broke up. I kind of wish we could reconnect. And they're telling their friends this, and that friend comes and tells you, hey, X, Y, and your ex wanted to talk to you about X, Y, and Z. I think they still want to get back with you, right? And so they're putting effort to be connected to you, okay? And those are some of the reasons that an avoidant wants you to reach out. Let's summarize it, and then we'll finish it up, okay? The first one is watching your stories religiously. Typically, it's religious, right? Like frequently on social media. They may like or comment those posts. They may post something specific that is meant for you. They may show up in your orbit or things that you used to frequent because it makes them feel close to you, comfortably remembering you. They may reach out vaguely or indirectly. They may bring up nostalgia, things that they remember about you, and mutual friends have mentioned to you that your ex is asking about you, okay? I hope this video was helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.